What is happening, guys? My name is Jamie. Today we are doing a 3 Days Grace album ranking. 3 Days Grace were one of my favorite bands of all time once. I really was a big fan of 3 Days Grace and other bands such as Breaking Benjamin before I really got heavily into metal. So going back and listening to their discography was nostalgia big time, and it was just a blast listening to all their albums. And I thought, you know what, it's a perfect time to give you an album ranking for 3 Days Grace. 3 Days Grace, we had the lead singer Adam, who was in the band for about 4 albums, and then we got the new lead singer Matt, who came in throughout Human and The Outsider. 3 Days Grace fans are divided, in my opinion, with Matt and Adam. Some people love the new singer Matt, and some people don't like the new singer Matt and want Adam back. Matt is a pretty good vocalist because honestly, 3 Days Grace have definitely changed their sound throughout the years. Now, in case you don't know, 3 Days Grace were an post-grunge band transitioning into alternative metal and hard rock. They really changed the sound throughout Transit of Venus. Started to experiment throughout that album. Today I'm going to give you the worst album to the best album in a ranking. So first of all, the weakest album in 3 Days Grace discography, in my opinion, is Human. Human is an okay album overall. This is when the new vocalist, Matt, started to dip his feet into the waters of 3 Days Grace. Certainly there are some pretty good songs like Painkiller and Fallen Angel, and I do really enjoy Car Crash. Heading for a red light, so damn good. Now his vocals are okay on this, but I just feel the instrumentals at times do lack. Sometimes Matt doesn't really express much emotion throughout this album. Although I still think this is the weakest album, I still think this is a good album. Like, I remember playing this album countless times, and when I was playing this album, I started to really enjoy it. Iron Machine's a pretty good song. It's an okay album, Human. It's an okay album just because this album at times is quite tedious and quite boring. It feels like they are repeating the same old formula. It feels like they're going back to 3 Days Grace and 1X Days, except this is a lot worse than those albums. Next up is The Outsider. Outsider is a good album. This is a step up. Matt's vocals are actually pretty good. Some really catchy songs like Infrared, The Abyss. I do love the guitar riffs throughout the mountain. At times there are some really nice guitar moments, and there's a lot of emotion conveyed within Matt's vocals, which I really do enjoy. At times the songs are very catchy. We're starting to get a little bit of experimentation for 3 Days Grace, very similar to the album Transit of Venus. Songs are pretty short. They are straight to the point. Right Left Wrong is an absolutely fantastic song. But yeah, it took me a while to really enjoy Outsider, but giving Outsider a few more goes, I really do enjoy it, but I still think it's their second weakest album. Alright, so this may tick some of you people off, but the next is Life Starts Now. So we had 3 Days Grace, 1X, which were holy grail albums. In Life Starts Now, they started to, start to change their sound a little bit. They became more atmospheric. They had some really interesting guitar riffs, and they had some really catchy songs as well. All of these songs are pretty catchy. Bitter Taste, Break, World So Cold, Lost in You, The Good Life is such a really awesome song. No More, Last to Know Someone Who Cares, that chorus gets stuck in your head. Some really nice guitar riffs, although I just feel that this album follows a formula and doesn't really go outside the box, such as the self-titled album and 1X did. I just feel like that Life Starts Now is just following their own lane. So this LP is a pretty steady album, but it's still a very fun album. Adam's on vocals on this, and Adam's vocals are absolutely fantastic. Bully is a great song. Life Starts Now is a good song as well. And Without You. There are some nice, softer moments on this. But yeah, 3 Days Grace, Life Starts Now is sitting here. Next up is Transit of Venus. This is one of my favorite albums by 3 Days Grace. As I'm growing older, I'm starting to really appreciate this album. I love it. I really do. This is more experimental by 3 Days Grace. Very atmospheric. There's some really nice guitar solos. Misery Loves My Company, such an awesome song, along with The High Blood, chalk outline, Sign of the Times, Expectations, The Unbreakable Heart, you're the unbreakable heart, so damn good. Give in to me, and happiness, give in to me, give in to me. Yeah, there are some really nice guitar moments as well, some solos throughout this album that really packs a punch. Yeah, Transit of Venus is one of my favorite albums by 3 Days Grace, and I just love Adam's vocals on this. Adam's vocals are so damn good. They move towards the alternative metal side as well. It's less grungy on this album, where Life Starts Now was a little bit more grungier than this. But damn, I love how 3 Days Grace changed their sound throughout Transit of Venus. Next up is the self-titled debut album, 3 Days Grace. And this is a legendary album by this band, one of my favorite albums of all time. Every single song is catchy as anything. Burn, Just Like You, I Hate Everything About You, I Hate Everything About You, along with Home, and Drown is one of the most underrated songs by 3 Days Grace. I love it. Overrated, yeah, this album's not overrated, that's for sure. This album's underrated. Love 3 Days Grace, the self-titled. Some really nice guitar moments as well. This is a post-grunge album as well, with alternative metal elements, but this is a pretty heavy album by 3 Days Grace. But there is one album that reigns supreme in my opinion. Finally, my number one album by 3 Days Grace is 1X. We are the 1X. Woo! 1X is just a fantastic album. It's All Over, Pain, and What Have Become, Never Too Late, On My Own. Just classic songs by this band. Every single song is a banger and I absolutely adore it. There's nothing much I can say about 1X. 1X is truly a masterpiece. I adore it. If I had to score it, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. That's how good this album is. This is a great post-grunge album mixed with alternative metal along with hard rock. I just love, at times there are some really nice guitar moments. Adam's vocals, just absolutely fantastic as well. I love his grungy style with his vocals. It's really nice intricate guitar moments. But yeah, 3 Days Grace, 1X is at number 1. So guys, comment below your 3 Days Grace rankings. Do you agree or disagree with my opinion? Keep the discussion going in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.